Okay, so let's talk about the huge news coming out of Russia, a potential cancer vaccine. This is a claim that could, seriously, change everything in the fight against one of our oldest enemies. So in this explainer, we're going to break down what's really going on.
So, this is the big question, right? Is this a genuine breakthrough? To figure that out, we've got to look at the announcement itself, and then we need to get into the science behind it.
So picture this. It's early 2025, and this announcement drops, and it grabs headlines all over the world. Russia says it has a new vaccine that can turn our own bodies into cancer-fighting machines. It's called Enteromix, and this isn't just some small project. This is the result of a major collaboration between some of Russia's top scientific institutions, like the National Medical Research Radiology Center and the Inzgelhart Institute of Molecular Biology. We're talking about their heavy hitters. So how in the world does this thing actually work? Because it's not just another drug. The whole idea here is to train your immune system to do the hard work of hunting down and destroying cancer itself. Okay, first things first, we've got to get one thing straight, because this is a really crucial difference. When we hear the word vaccine, you and I, we think prevention, right? Like a flu shot? But Enteromix is what's called therapeutic. It's designed to treat cancer that's already in your body. And how does it do this? Well, it uses a technology that's going to sound super familiar to all of us now, mRNA. Yep, just like with the COVID-19 vaccines, it's all about delivering a set of genetic instructions to your cells. But instead of fighting a virus, it's teaching them how to go hunt for cancer. But wait, there's more. It gets even cooler. The vaccine also uses something called an oncolytic mechanism. Basically, they take harmless viruses and engineer them to specifically track down and blow up cancer cells. So not only does this kill the tumor directly, but it also sends up a huge flare alerting your entire immune system. It's like a powerful 1-2 punch. So let's just walk through it step by step. The vaccine gets in and delivers those mRNA instructions. Your own cells start producing these very specific molecules based on those instructions. And what that does is it basically puts a wanted poster out for the cancer, training your immune system to finally recognize the bad guys. And then bam, your newly trained immune cells go on the attack, hunting and destroying those tumor cells. And this is where things get really futuristic. Each and every vaccine can be personalized using what they call a tumor passport. Think of it as a unique genetic fingerprint of a patient's specific cancer. And here's the crazy part. Researchers claim that by using AI, they can design this custom-made vaccine in under an hour. This is a massive leap from the one-size-fits-all treatments we're used to. Okay, a revolutionary idea is one thing, but does it work? I mean, at the end of the day, that's all that matters. So let's get into the results from the very first human trials. So the initial phase 1 trial involved 48 volunteers. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but for this very early stage of testing, it's a pretty standard size. And the study focused mostly on patients with colorectal cancer. And then came the number that made everyone sit up and pay attention, 100%. Every single person in that trial showed an activation of their immune response against their cancer. That is an incredibly powerful signal, especially this early on. And just as important as does it work is, is it safe? Well, the initial trial reported 0 serious side effects. 0. That suggests the treatment was actually tolerated really well by the patients, which is fantastic news. So you take those two incredible numbers, and you get this incredibly bold and powerful claim from Russian health officials. They stated that the vaccine showed 100% efficacy and safety in initial human trials. Wow! 100% success rate. I mean, that sounds like a cure, right? Case closed. Well, not so fast. In the world of science, these amazing initial results are just the beginning of the story. Now we have to be responsible and put this incredible promise into its proper context. So you really have to look at this as a balancing act. On the one hand, you have all this incredible hope, right? It's fueled by that 100% immune response, reports of tumors actually shrinking, and way fewer side effects. But on the other side, you have the necessary scientific reality checks. The trial was really small, the full data hasn't been published or peer-reviewed by other scientists yet, and we have absolutely no idea what the long-term effects are. So with that cautious optimism in mind, balancing the promise with the reality, let's pull back the lens a bit. Why does this announcement, even with all the question marks, matter so much in the bigger picture of the global fight against cancer? I mean, the potential impact here is just staggering. If this proves to be successful on a much larger scale, it could completely revolutionize personalized therapy. Can you imagine a treatment that's way less toxic than something like chemotherapy? And this isn't just for one type of cancer either. They're already working on versions for really aggressive brain and skin cancers. On top of all that, Russia says it plans to provide it free of charge to its citizens. That would be a huge deal for access to medicine.
And it's so important to remember, this isn't happening in some isolated lab. Russia's work is part of a massive worldwide effort. You've got brilliant teams all across the US, Europe, and Asia, all pushing the boundaries of what mRNA and immunotherapy can do. This is a shared human goal, with scientists everywhere racing toward a cure. And that brings us right back to our final question. What are we really looking at right now? Is this a proven cure? No, not yet. The science just isn't there. But is it a profound, powerful glimmer of hope, pointing toward a future where we can genuinely use our own immune systems to beat cancer? Absolutely. And for millions of patients and their families around the world, that hope, well, that hope is everything.